Es ist wieder soweit. Hallo und herzlich willkommen, liebe Community. Mein Name ist wie immer Daniel und in diesem Video habe ich ein ganz besonderes Interview mit RJ Martinez. Falls der Name dir überhaupt nichts sagt, RJ Martinez ist ein Print-on-Demand-Marketer aus den USA. Das heißt, wir werden das Interview wieder einmal in Englisch führen. Und ich bin auf RJ aufmerksam geworden durch seine coolen Videos zu Merch bei Amazon, zu Kindle Direct Publishing. Und dann habe ich ihn einfach mal gefragt, ob er dann offen wäre für ein Interview auf meinem Kanal. Und er hat direkt zugesagt, was ich mega, mega cool finde. Wenn dir das Video einen Mehrwert bietet, dann freue ich mich natürlich auch über einen Daumen nach oben. Wenn du eine Frage hast, haust wie immer ab in die Kommentare. Unter dem Video findest du einen Link zu meiner Print-on-Demand Academy, die dir das ganze Business von der Pike auf beibringt und dich wirklich an die Hand nimmt und bis zum Erfolg dann coacht. Und ich freue mich, jetzt mit dir gemeinsam durch das Interview zu gehen. Viel Spaß! Hello, RJ Martinez. I'm so glad that you are here on the interview, and I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel. So you're doing great stuff there, and talk some words about you, a person. Who are you? What are you doing in the POD scene? And yeah.
That was pretty good right there. You did it in 2 different languages, so you're you're ahead of the game already. So that's amazing. So now thank you very much for having me on. So like the story, the background of POD. Well, obviously I'm in the game to actually help people and show people knowledge and stuff like that about print on demand, or just selling online in general, right? There's a bigger picture than just print on demand. I believe as you start to grow and you start to learn more things, you kind of see like, oh, I can do this for this business because they don't have their product online and they don't know about print on demand. They have a product, a print on demand product, a t-shirt in their local business, and it's collecting a lot of dust and they're not making any type of sales. So how can we avoid, them holding inventory and stuff like that? Of course, I'll get into that more and more, but this is the idea, right? I think it's a little bit bigger than that, but I started selling online. I think it was like 2012, 2013. I was interested in Amazon FBA selling products. I had a full-time job at the time. I had a really good job at the time too, as well. I was a top sales associate with my job. And then I was like, you know what? Like I was working weird hours, and I was like, I wonder if there's a side gig or something that I can do to make a little bit of extra money, online or something, or just something just in general. So I was like, you know what? I heard about Amazon FBA. So I was like, take a product, go to like Walmart or CVS or any of these local big box stores, and maybe I can find a product for cheaper and sell it for more online. And then I started searching like on Facebook and stuff like that, on YouTube, and I started finding people that are doing this already. I was like, whoa, okay, there is a demand for this, but how do I find this product without wasting a lot of time? And because once I started doing it, I was like, I'm wasting a lot of time. I didn't find nothing today. Like, I don't know. So I remember that I took a few products, and then I shipped them into Amazon FBA in a box, right? Taped it up, shipped it in a box, and I shipped it over there to one of the warehouses. And then it was like, I put it at I think I probably got it for like $10 each. I bought like 5 of them for $50 and then flipped it. Ended up, not making any money, but it sold, right? Mm. So probably sold it for like 16 or 17. And with all the fees and stuff, I was like break even or didn't even make any money. So I was like, okay, there is a potential of doing this and making money online. So it's real, right? Because I was like always skeptical about selling stuff online. I was like, it's probably fake. You know what I mean? Just like one of those people. But in real life, I was a very positive type of person, and I enjoyed watching people like succeed and do stuff like that. I was always like encouraging people to do stuff. And then I did it myself. I was like, oh, it works. Okay. Now let's see what I can do. Is there a way I can make money with this though? Can it pay for something every single month that I'm doing it now? So I tested it and it worked. And then fast forward, maybe 5 years later, I started doing it full time because I started making a decent amount of money, started flipping shoes, going to like Marshalls and all that stuff, flipping shoes. I met a few people along the way that I were kind of just, talking a little bit about Amazon FBA and stuff like that. And I started flipping shoes, and there was times where I buy 50 shoes a day, and literally spend, $5,000, $6,000 for the day, going around to these like Marshalls or TJ Maxx. No, was it TJ Maxx? No, Ross. And then flipping the shoes, grabbing them, get them for $50, flipping for 100, 120, 150, even just $100, and making money, making profits. So I was like, okay, cool. Then I started selling, 5 to 10 shoes a day, then 10 to 15, and then 20 shoes a day. I was like, whoa, this is a lot. But then next thing you know it, I'm over here working 15 hours, 16 hours. And I was like, dude, this is crazy. And then one of the people that I found online on YouTube was Chris Green. So I reached out to him and I seen what he's doing. I was like, dude, this is crazy. So what I did was heard about merch by Amazon. I was like, this is crazy how you're putting a design on a product. Okay. A t-shirt, for example, putting a design on a t-shirt with merch by Amazon, and you're not taking care of none of the customer service. You're not taking care of none of the returns. You're not taking care of none of the inventory. You don't have to worry about if it's large, extra large, medium, small, extra small. And you don't have to worry about black, brown, red, orange. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about none of the colors, neither the inventory. And then you're not printing or shipping it to the customer. So I was like, nah, this is I get the idea. I'm just like, that means I don't have to work 15, 12 hours, to do none of this, like putting the shoes, checking the sizes and shipping off to the actual customer. So I was like, you know what, to the FBA warehouse. So I was like, you know what, let me try to put up a few designs. I didn't pay no attention to it at first because I was still doing a lot of the my shoes and getting it to Amazon FBA. And then later on, I checked probably like 2 or 3 weeks later, and I started making sales with merch by Amazon. I literally went on Fiverr, purchased a few designs for, a good amount of money. It was like, I got like 5 designs for like $60 or something like that. And then I started putting those up, and then I got, purchased another set of designs and put them up, and it started making sales. And I was like, interesting. Okay. So I was like, a month later, I was like, let me take a break from this, from the shoes, because they're still selling. I still have a lot of inventory and they're still selling. And I focused on this. And one of the niches that I focused on was, I think I started with like the St. Patrick's Day niche. Okay. That was like a trending holiday. And then I started making sales. And I was like, dude, okay. And then Cinco de Mayo, it's like, targeted to like Hispanic people, Mexican people. And I started like, that's when it started booming for me. When I was like, okay, I was at like tier 500. And then I forgot, I have a screenshot in my Facebook group, but it was like, I think I started making over $1,000 in the last 7 days or something. And I was like, whoa. I was like, okay, everything is online. I'm not moving around. I'm sitting down and doing this and stuff like that. And I was like, this is really cool. Okay, let's see what we can do from here. So I think it was from that Cinco de Mayo, from like the 5th, but we can see it from like the 5th, I started making money, and the 5th of May, right? The 5th month. And then on June and then July, all the way to the end of the year of December, you can see like a big trend in my numbers, how it went up. So I went from 200, 500, to 2,000 a month. Okay. And then all of a sudden I peaked at $6,000 a month with merch by Amazon. And so I was like, okay, there is something right here that I can do. So that's kind of like the backstory. And then started making content along the way with that too, as well, as I was doing a lot of mistakes and doing errors and stuff like that. And I literally took that and I was like, maybe I can teach people how to do this, and I can make the mistakes for them, and I can show them how I made the mistakes and show them how I corrected it. And this is what I did right along the way. And I started kind of doing that and making YouTube content, making Instagram content, now making TikTok content, and then created a Facebook group, and boom, here we are. And I've helped a ton of people when it comes to print on demand business or just business in general. And I think it's amazing that we do this type of stuff, and you do this type of stuff too, Daniel. I think it's just amazing opportunity for us to, share this with people. And it's so easy to share with people too, as well.
Yeah. It's always cool when you see that you can change people's life and you get them the knowledge, or you give them the knowledge and they are making sometimes much more like you do. And then you're doing a good job. And that's really cool. Amazing story. Wow.
Yeah, no.
So I think if in Germany there are huge people doing FBA stuff, but it's getting harder all the last years. So Amazon has making more rules and stuff like that, and it's a very cash intensive business. A friend of mine that was doing this, and he said always it's if you are paying for the products in China, then you have the shipping time, and you have always you must always have huge amounts of products in the Amazon fulfillment center, and then the cash is there, and you don't have the cash for other things, and it's not so easy like the t-shirt business or like the print on demand business.
Yeah, no, it's and I think it's just, you know, everyone does selling online a little bit differently. So and I see a lot of people that are very, very like intelligent from, you know, just learning so much over the years. And I think that's a lot of like we can all learn from stuff like that, right? I think it's really cool. So
your interviewers are really, really good. I remember the guy who's made the retro milk design and was cashing out, I think 10 or 20,000 per month with one design. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's another thing too. So like if you're on this correctly, right? Like if you learn about the niches and you do your research and stuff like that, you can create designs that do that type of stuff. I was always at the beginning, I was big on like chasing trends and stuff like that. I kind of pivoted a little bit to more of like evergreen niches and stuff. But also too, just not saying that like, so you'll find a trending design, you'll create a trending design for a niche, right? And then that trending design will turn into an evergreen niche, right? Because it's just that design's so good that you create a really awesome design that people wanted at that time. The next thing you know it, like if the holiday's over, people still want it throughout the whole year. You know what I mean? Because it's a really awesome design.
That's really good.
That another thing too, is just, you know, just pivoting from that, you stay a consistent amount of sales every single month, every single week, every single day. Your sales are very consistent based off of, you know, just going after niches. Like, for example, like the watermelon niche or something like that, right? Diving into there and seeing what kind of shirts people are making, what type of, you know, funny shirts people are making, and, you know, see if you can create something that no one has in there. And then you create a top selling design for that niche. So
do you have own designers or do you make your designs for your own?
Oh yeah. Okay. That's another one. Well, I suck at designing. I don't, I can't do that. When it comes to designing, I'm very open about that because, I always learned, like growing up and just doing stuff. It just, you know, you learn that what you're good at and what you're not good at. Right. And growing up, writing my name and, you know, school, like I can barely even write my damn name. It looks horrible. Right. And I'm okay with that. But the thing is, that's something that I know that I would never perfect when it comes to that stuff. And it was never entertaining to me, or it wasn't fun for me. The fact of building a team and having good people on your team is more fun for me, and making sure like people are on top of their task and know what they're doing and stuff like that. Not being a boss, it's more of being a team leader as a captain and helping people to get better at what they're at. And I always enjoyed that, to watch people progress and stuff like that. So I do have a few artists on my team. So I outsource a lot of stuff. And of course I created a business around that, and I put them all together. One person that's doing like the typography and the fonts for the illustrations. Okay. And then sometimes the artist will just create a whole illustration for the shirt. Right. Which creates a little bit less competition when you have your own custom illustrations. Okay. And I figured this out at the very beginning. You will create less competition for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. If you go on to, and I'm not trying to put down none of these websites at all, but I used to use like a free pick before. Right. But that's a starting point, I believe. And then like there's Vexels too as well. That's around right now. Yeah. There's that's a starting point, right? You see what they're doing. You kind of implement what they're doing and see how they're doing their research, and they're feeding you like a newsletter, or they're giving you these illustrations.
Yeah.
Now think about what you can do to put a process in place for yourself, right? Because if you do that, and then it's you can pretty much do anything, right? I have people reach out to me, can you create a logo for me? Yes. There'll be $100. Let me create the logo for you. It's easy. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, or even just for a certain niche that we research and get an understanding for. And then, the team will go after it. We'll go after that niche and create custom illustrations. Right. At the very beginning, I use like free pick, making sure that, you got to make sure that you have the commercial use for the illustration, stuff like that, and the fonts. But I had just one person on the team. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people on the team.
Cool.
Right.
Cool.
So, and it's a community that I built for myself. Right. They know that when they're doing the work, they share with each other and stuff like that. And I talk a lot about this too. Sharing their artwork with each other and making sure that, they hold themselves accountable and stuff like that. If there's certain things that I don't like about like an illustration, I'll let them know. But other than that, like pretty much some amazing work. And it's really cool to see fresh new ideas when you wake up in the morning. It's refreshing. It clears your mind. You're like, this is freaking awesome. So, and I'm pretty sure that too. I get excited when I see new artwork or anything like that. I'm inspired by it. Like, cause I know that I can't do it. So I'm inspired by it and I respect it. I'm just like, wow, dude, like I would never even think about doing this type of stuff. So.
Yeah, it's a good point. I have, in my team, I think we are 3 designers actually. And four designers, and one designer, she's a girl, and she can illustrate, and the others are more font based or typographic designers, and she needs more time for designs because but the design quality is so good, and that our designs they won't be copied because they are so good and so creative, and that's very important. And that mostly of them are hot sellers, and they are long-term sellers. Like you said, they are getting evergreens, and that's a really good point that you said. That's very important.
But it just adding more to that, I think is just you just think about what you created, right? You can do anything. You can do like KDP, for example, right? We're talking more about Merch by Amazon print on demand. KDP is another form of print on demand, but you can just have them. I want you guys to all focus on these type of coloring books this month. I want you to create, lined art, right? And what's a little bit more easier sometimes than creating the actual illustration, because you obviously have to do all the filling and stuff. And this is more of like line art. And they can literally just crush out one really good book. And this is what I've been realizing about KDP more. In my personal opinion, I feel like a book is more of an asset compared to a t-shirt. Right. And I still have to figure that out. I'm still testing it. It's one of my theories. But I just feel like a person would rather buy a book. They would buy more books than a t-shirt. Right. And I think that t-shirt will hold, the book will hold more value than the t-shirt. So just as a product person, like we're looking at it from a product point of view of selling and stuff like that. I may be wrong. But I've created some of my, my top guy has created a few coloring books that are just top sellers in a niche. And then we have the assets from that, right? From certain stuff, we'll have assets built out. And then I'll have my designer, he's like, I want to make a book. And then he made a book, and then it's a #1 seller. I was like, okay. Wow. Okay. So it just, a lot of things about like, so for example, like with KDP, right? It just, it takes a little bit more work, and a lot of people are scared about that.
Yeah.
They get pushed away because they want to go make a t-shirt, and it's easier to make a t-shirt than a book. So that means there's less competition in the book world. Right. And it's harder for someone to copy you. And it's really cool, especially going into Q4. Right now we're going into Q4. Everything's going to take off like crazy.
Yeah, I think so too. So you are creating coloring books, and then with a really unique content then, or what? Yeah.
So the idea behind this, right? Not just with anything else too, even with like Merch by Amazon, right? The idea is to like you see everyone else creating, like the same. Let's say they're creating the same design, and they're just messing around.
Most
with
of them
like the layout
from Creative Fabrica or something. The inlay.
Yeah. Or they're moving around like the text and stuff like that, and that's a total different design. So you guys want to be like, one of the things that I've seen a few people do, they're like reporting certain listings. on Merch by Amazon, but it's not like the same exact design. Okay. And I think a few people have gotten suspended over this, is where, they think it's they're copying their design, right? But they're not, they're just moving it around. It's considered like a different design, unless it copies it pixel for pixel, right? You want to be careful reporting stuff like that. This is something that I've seen, and some few people reached out to me. They're like, I think my account got suspended because I reported a lot of designs. I'm like, but did you report them for pixel? They're copying yours, or did you report the ones that were like, moving around the layout and stuff of the actual design and creating something different than yours? It's the same font, same text, same everything, same phrase, but they move a certain thing around. It's considered a different design, right? But if you report it, you may get in trouble, stuff like that. So just be careful with that. Now, if I go into a new niche, let's say with KDP, okay, I'll go into a niche, and also too, KDP is like an open field. There's really barely any competition over there. You go into some niches, they're like, there's no book for this. I can create this book and it'll be a top seller. Okay. You're just looking at what you can do to be the best in that niche. And sometimes it may just be having your top artists that you can create a really awesome coloring book that no one else can create because it's so next level. That can be one way. Now from the coloring book, what can you do next, right? What takes more work other than coloring book? It'll be an activity book, I believe, right? I think coloring book, activity book, that's the next step. And then what else can you create within that niche? Just think about other ideas, right? Maybe you could probably create like a recipe book or something. You don't know. Or even just a novel, a children's book, right? Yeah. Something like that, like this next level. Like think about what you can do to put more work into this book, first of all, and create something that's just amazing and next level. So if it takes more work by creating an activity book, do it. If it takes more work by creating a children's book, do it. Okay. A children's book may look like it's a lot of work, but it's really not. There's like 4 sentences on one page, and then it's the next page and the next page, and a lot of color and stuff like that. So as far as that, I think that's one of the ways that you can, create something in a niche that can be a top seller. Now, if you have a top seller already, you can create, the next level book to that book, right? You can maybe create a second edition to that book, right? Create a part 2 of the coloring book, part 3. One of the things that I did, I created a part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and then part 5 was the ultimate edition with all the pages inside of that one book. And then I charge a premium price.
Hey, good idea. Yeah. Great. So actually, do you do more sales on KDP like on MBA?
So MBA is just I have my whole team focused more over there on Merch by Amazon. Merch by Amazon is just we're working on there pretty much, 5 days a week over there and creating new designs and stuff like that. For just the illustrations that we're creating and stuff like that. So I do definitely, I had him over there working with KDP in 2020 when the pandemic, everything shut down with Merch by Amazon. They closed, all the sales and stuff like that. They stopped doing all that.
Yes. In USA, the doors were closed. In Germany, they were open this time.
Yeah, they were? Okay. Yeah. Well, that kind of like, I was like, okay, I got to pivot now. What am I going to do? So I got on a call with my team, and I was like, you know what, let's work on KDP. Yeah, and cool. I still do want to work on KDP, but Merch by Amazon is still, my top selling when it comes to sales and stuff like that. But KDP it's making like more than it did last year. And then it's making more consistent sales. And then I'm getting more traction by getting more reviews. And then I'm starting to rank for, new keywords and stuff like that I see that are going to bring a lot of volume in Q4. So I'm just like, what do I do?
Cool. Good to hear. Nice to hear. For us Germans, the American market is sometimes very hard to come in because we have to. I think you have different humor, and niches are bigger. You have more competition for us, and so for me especially, it's very hard to come in the US market. But I'm trying with KDP, but it's not really working. So on the German market, I'm really doing good sales, but on the US market, it's so hard for me to come in. But it will work over time. With the t-shirts, it works, and then After some time, it will work for the KDP business also.
Yeah, no, I've been doing research, and one of my things right now is with Merch by Amazon is getting into other marketplaces. So I've been pushing that pretty hard, and I know I can see the opportunity with these other marketplaces. The UK,
they're working good. They're working really good. Yeah. If you translate only the English products and you're floating the market, works really good. Really good.
Yeah. No, so that's what I'm like, and I see a lot of people not paying attention to that. So I'm just like, okay, cool. You just don't listen to me. I'm just gonna go over here. So perfect. I think there's a ton of opportunity in the other marketplaces. It's amazing.
So in Germany, we don't have the phone covers yet. I hope that is coming maybe before Christmas. And I'm already waiting for the mug. I hope they will presenting the mug sometimes, because I think the mug will blow up the sales really, really well.
Yeah, with the mugs, I think is just there's a ton of there's just a ton of opportunity with that, because I see them on FBA products. People actually shipping to the warehouse, and they're during Christmas time, Q4, they're doing some crazy numbers, like 1K BSR, 800 BSR. I'm just like, what the? And they're good for gifts. People buying them.
Yeah,
coffee, tea, coffee, tea, hot. People like to drink hot water. Just give them, you know what I mean? Just they're really popular. So I think that would be amazing opportunity if we got those, and that'll be like just the opportunity just to sell on Merch by Amazon is amazing, because once you get that, and you're just like, okay, we got another product to upload to, and it'll be freaking amazing. So
you're doing the tote bags? So I'm seeing good sales on that.
Yeah, no, I haven't messed with those yet, and I've been thinking about that a little bit, because I feel like it can be another person to actually design for those. Me personally, like on my team and stuff like that, I feel like getting one person just to design for the totes, and maybe the pillows might even be the same actual design on the product. I know that, taking like our t-shirt design and putting it on that, it may make a little bit more sense, but I think just having someone to actually design for that actual product can be very, very powerful.
Yeah.
Even with the cell phone cases and the pillows, if you go to any of the local stores, the big box stores here in the US, in California, if you go, they're selling pillows like crazy right now. You go to like the Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, Target, Costco, pillows. You don't see tote bags, you see pillows.
Crazy.
So just something to think in mind.
Yeah. What kind of designs do they sell? So mostly typographic or pattern designs or something?
Yeah, like a little bit of everything. You can see like the funny sayings do really well on designs. On pillows. And you're seeing like the fall, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas. Christmas. I can see Christmas in the back of the store where they're in the box and they haven't opened them yet, but they're coming out to the front of the floor. So just little things like that. People like we should be paying attention to, because obviously the big box stores are spending millions and millions of dollars on their products and stuff, and they know when's the right time to put the product out for people to start buying. That's why he's saying like research and stuff like that. It can be done like, having your research done like 3 months, 4 months, 5 months out it's a good idea to do it. Let's say you can even do 2 months or 1 month. You're still going to get some sales, some traction, hopefully next year does, make sales for you. But it's really, when people say it's too late to go after a certain niche, I don't think it depends, because I see people upload Halloween shirts, right? And it'll be October 15th and they upload the shirt on October 15th, but the 31st is Halloween. They're still making sales. They make a sale on that new shirt, and next thing you know, it's going to be good for next year. So
never too late to launch a product. Cool. So I think what's it's interesting. Do you do? You are doing ads for MBA for sure. I think. Yeah. And so could you talk about a little bit about? So in German, or I think in US, they launched actually the ad account at T100, I think.
Yeah.
And so many people are searching for knowledge in this case. And could you give some advice for beginners? What kind of campaign should they start, and what are your experience with ads?
Yeah, of course. So with ads, Amazon is like a little bit of it delays when it comes to ads a little bit, and they're getting better and better. You can see. I think Amazon ads are so Amazon advertising will be, if you have access to them, of course, it'll be like a weekly thing to look at, right? Not like a daily thing, because sometimes the reporting's a little bit off. And then what I mean by reporting is like when the customers say, let's say, today's Monday, the customer makes a purchase with one of your ads on Monday, it won't show until Wednesday sometimes because of the reporting's a little bit delayed. And that's what I mean. So usually you like what I've been doing is just checking ads, try to not check it all the time because it gets repetitive. And I know we get excited because we're making sales and then our AUCH is low or we made a sale on our first product because you're running ads to it. But try to pay attention more of if you uploaded new ads on Monday, come and check on Sunday. Right. And be careful. Of course, if you're putting your budget or your bid at, $1 and your budget at $5, you're going to be spending a lot of money. And I recommend when it comes to this right here, if you don't know what the hell you're doing, excuse my language. If you don't know what you're doing,
no problem.
you always want to ease your way into things. Okay. Because it's not just going to happen overnight. There's nothing that happens overnight. Okay. Just to be very clear, you always want to start real slow. So start your bid off at, whatever you feel comfortable at. I want to say anywhere between 15 cents to 25 cents. And then you want to pay attention to the impressions. Okay. At first. Okay. If you see that, if you go into a new niche, people are like, I'm not getting no sales. I'm not getting no traction, no clicks, none of that stuff. You want to look at your impressions and see that your ad is showing up. Okay. By that, it will show the impressions and show like a person that's, looking on Amazon, they look at your product, but they don't click on it. Okay. That's an impression. But okay. And then that right there. Then also too, you got to keep in mind that it may not be the time of the year for someone to buy that product. Okay. Just because you're getting impressions and no one's clicking, maybe someone doesn't want that product right now. So you have to think about it that way too, as well. But then you start to, let's say you start to get clicks and you want to put a system in place for your product. Let's say you get 10 clicks, no sales. It's up to you. Like, do you want to just turn that ad off and go to the next product? Or are you willing to let it spend 15 clicks to see if you get a sell? Because if it doesn't, that means it's not a good product, right? Or it's not a good design, or it's not something, right? People don't want it right now. So you got to think about it that way. So what system you're going to put in place for that? Okay, now let's say you're starting to make sales, okay? And you're in the profit. Let's say you're below, depends what your goal is with this right here. Let's say your AUCH is, 25% and your break even is 27%, right? And you're not happy with that. So you're going to kill it. You can do that, right? You're aiming for 15% or something like that. And you would just, I'm not happy with that. Okay. There's another thing that you can do is go into the search terms, right? And this is powerful. Go into the search terms and see what maybe there's actually, before you kill the ad, you want to go into the search terms and check and see, okay, maybe there's a certain long tail keyword in there, or a search phrase or something in there, a search term that is getting a lot of clicks and no sales. Maybe, so if you actually put that into the negative targeting, you can save the ad. And then next, you see that another search phrase that has one order, and then you only spent 10 cents on it. Wow. Like that's really good. Right. So there's more, there's a lot to this that you have to understand. But one of the things I do not recommend is just dive into there, spend $300 and, in a week and not make no sales. You want to understand everything about it, get comfortable in the back end, learn what you need to do, and then literally just go from there. So there's even more that you can do right there, right? If you have a profitable ad, you want to run abroad, or an exact or something like that to the keywords that you're making sales with that auto campaign. Right. So there's a ton of stuff that you can do in the back end. But one of the things is just put a system in place for you. My system is going to be different than your system. Okay. Your system, from Daniel's system to my system, is going to be different. The way he does things is different from me. Right. And that doesn't make me better than him, and that doesn't make him better than me. That's just the way we have systems in place. And that's one of the most important things when it comes to any of this, systems in place. And that's why I talk about teams. And then especially with ads too, as well. You got to think about what you're going to do, what your standards are, and what your goal is. You know, obviously, okay, maybe your goal is to rank on the front page for, you know, a keyword or for that niche. And you don't mind your ACOS is at 40%, you know, for your standard t-shirt. You don't mind, you don't care. That's okay. But you're making sales organically and you're okay. You're profitable on the front end, but you're negative on the back end. Right. And sometimes those people, there's those type of people out there that actually do that type of stuff because they're more worried about, you know, getting traction, ranking on the front end, on the front page for Q4 and making more sales.
Yeah. Do you launch for every shirt a campaign, or do you make bulk campaigns where you put on maybe for the dog niche, you put in 10 different designs in one campaign? So yeah, I've tested that for my account, and it works really, really well to put in maybe 10 to 20 designs and to test a little bit.
Is it so like by like the brand or something like that? Kind of if you have 30 t-shirts under one brand, you can actually put them all under one campaign. And this is something that I've tested out too as well, Daniel. And it pisses me off because it doesn't make no sense because you run one campaign, you think it's going to be really successful, but then when you grab all 30 or 40 of them and put them in one campaign, and then they start making sales, and you're just like, that doesn't make no sense. And it starts, it's more profitable, and the ACOS is real low, and you're getting good clicks and you're getting reviews. I'm just like, okay, I see what it's weird because it's like, I see the algorithm. You don't think it would do that, but it's like telling, like, it seems like it's promoting it more that way. I don't know why.
I don't know why either, but it works. It's totally strange.
I actually, so answering your question, I do both. I have one of my best campaigns, or, you know, it has like 100 products under one campaign has over 100 products in it. Yeah. And it makes sales and it's good. It's like 11% ACOS. I'm like,
for me, it's the same. Totally the same.
I don't get it. It doesn't make no sense. So like, and then it's still running like for the last 2 or 3 years and it's still going. I was like, this is weird. So and that's another thing. All at the end of the day, it's all about like just testing, right? Testing and seeing what works for you. You can watch my YouTube videos or Daniel's YouTube videos. You can watch them, right? But and just to give you some insight to help you with what you're doing, and then that doesn't work for you, and then you try something else and it works for you, right? It doesn't mean that we're wrong or I'm wrong. It just, you actually did it, and obviously you did it, and you maybe got some inspiration from watching the video, so go do it, and then it worked. Boom. That's cool. I love that.
Yeah, kind of like Facebook ads. You always have to test all different variations. So I've tested the last weeks the display ads and some video ads, and now you can I think in USA you can put in targeting for the shirts. Do you saw that?
No, I haven't ran any video ads, but the targeting, what do you mean by the targeting?
You can I think it was the display ad. There you can make a targeting like in Facebook, so different target groups like maybe Christians or people that are interested in music and some stuff like that. And wait a second.
And this is a new feature.
Yeah, this was a new feature under wait a second, I will open the ad account here. Sponsored brands, I think. Yeah, sponsored brands. There I found the targeting thing, and I think it was sponsored brands. Oh wait, or was sponsored products?
Sponsored products.
No.
Where's the targeting? Keyword targeting, and product targeting.
You there were really target groups where you can. Sorry, it is display ads. Yeah, display ads, and there you can optimize for conversions, and there were target groups where you That's a new thing. Amazon target groups, and there you can go in lifestyle interests and in market things. And I think this is really interesting. Maybe for some hot sellers. So that was my intention. Take some bestsellers and test it with display ads, but it's not working yet for me. But maybe we have to test more.
One of the things that I've like, when you see like new stuff like that come up, you want to test it. Like you want to test it right away, because I didn't see that. Thank you for letting me know. But it just, it'll be less competition because people are not doing it. And then you'll get, most of the time you'll get like good AUCH, but that applies to pretty much anything. Like if you see it now, right, and it's working, like for example, like NFTs, like if I'm barely learning about them. Well, I know about them. I've seen them probably like the last 2 months already. But stuff like that, a lot of people don't know about unless, a lot of people start making content about it and stuff like that. But it's like now's a time to jump onto it because not too many people are doing it. And it especially applies to, Amazon advertising. If they open up a new feature, test it right away, see what happens. It's not going to hurt. Take your best sellers, right? What do you got to lose? They're just going to rank even more.
Like you said, yeah. What's NFT? Is this the crypto crypto thing?
Yeah, that non-fungible token. It's a little weird to me still. I'm looking at it. I'm just like, people are buying stuff for 300, like, it's a JPEG or what type of image on the OpenSea.io, and they're just they're basically, some of them are creating the digital image and stuff like that and putting them up for sale, and people are flipping them and selling them, and there's a buyer that will go in there and buy it and flip it for more. So they'll buy it for $300 and they'll flip it for, I've seen some people flip it for 14,000, 15,000.
What? I'm just like, digital art.
I'm just like, oh God. And I was like, and then I have a few people reach out to me. Once you get the artist to work on a NFT brand and launch it over there, and I'm pretty sure you make some cool stuff. I'm just like, it's interesting, but I still have to I have stuff to focus on over here. I can't be doing everything.
Yeah. So. I'm with you. So I remembered I saw a video from Alex Becker. He has talked about the NFTs, and then I saw that there are some people are selling crazy stuff, digital art for huge amounts of dollars. And I thought about it's a crazy world.
No, it is, and I'm just like, the heck. So it just there's ways and stuff like that. Research that too. Research it before you buy anything, if you decide to buy anything. But there's a lot of opportunity over there.
So do you do some Shopify stuff?
Shopify, no. Now,
okay.
What I've been focusing on is obviously my YouTube channel and stuff, and content, creating more content, stuff like that. Like my private group, and then of course the Pixelpodstudio, and KDP and Merch by Amazon. See, that's a lot already right there. For sure. I've been focusing more on creating blogs, trying to create some blogs that will rank on the front page of Google. Okay. I think that's very, very powerful. I've been testing that out. I've been creating blogs, and I've been ranking stuff, not on the front page, but it's getting there and it's getting more traction and starting to rank. But it's looking pretty good. And I'm just testing that out, because I'm thinking about, okay, if I was sitting down the other day and I was looking at all these local businesses, I was like, you know what, if I kind of approach these local businesses and told them, hey, I can build you the website, create you a blog, or if you have a website already, let's say they have a website already, I can create you a blog, rank you on the front page. Okay. Or just a a blog can be information about their product, information about what they make, what they do, and stuff like that. Someone types in the best Mexican food in California and near me, right? I want them to pop up, like stuff like that, right? So I'm thinking about, okay, if I can do that, that's powerful, because then at that point, if they want to get a design on a product, I can help them get a design on a product. And what does that mean? Like Merch by Amazon, I can actually create them a shirt and have it for sale on Amazon. But what if they want a recipe book? I can create a recipe book and put that on the front page of their blog, and they can drive traffic to it and make sales. So it's a little, that's more of what I'm thinking about. Okay, what can I do to, I'm doing a lot of this stuff already, but what can I do to kind of just, create, even less competition for me. What can I do? I think creating a blog and ranking someone's service or business, restaurant, brewery, whatever it is on the front page would be very powerful. So that's what I've been working on.
Yeah, cool. Good idea. I think digitalization is a big thing now, especially here in the like the last year, and everybody's in quarantine, and most of the companies realized, oh, we have to do something digital. We have to make a site. We have to do SEO and all the other stuff. That's good.
A lot of the things too is just, you see like a lot of the businesses going to digital menus, right?
Yeah.
And you see like the menu, but some of the menus are horrible. I'm like, dude, this is horrible.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's like, I don't know. It just, some of them are really good. And then some of them just don't know what they're doing. And I'm like, I could do this for you. You know that, right? I can help you make it look a little nicer and stuff like that. And just try to help people out, you know, too, at the same time. And the cool thing about it is you make money with it too, as well. So it's just, there's so much opportunity out there that we can create just based off of learning print on demand or just learning how to sell online in general. Like I said, because I went from FBA, print on merch by Amazon, print on demand, KDP and all that stuff, and then creating products to help people out too, as well, you know, make money online, know it's real. And then, you know, just figuring out, okay, what can I do to put that all together and provide, you know, knowledge for someone else or help someone with their local business to help them grow. Right.
Cool. Really cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
So I think we are now at the end. I think we're talking about 50 minutes. So I think that's enough stuff for YouTube. So really thanks for your time and for the words, and that you put out so much knowledge and dropped some good knowledge bombs. And so I wish you all the best here from Germany. So we are going in the evening here, and you have the whole day in front of you.
No, for sure. Also too, I'll share some information for you so you can put down in the description down below.
Sorry. Yeah, we don't talk about Pixelpodstudio. You have a service for KDP interviewers, and we will put it in the description. Maybe you can say some stuff about it. Sorry, I totally forgot that.
No.
Yeah.
There's a few different things that I do too as well.
Yeah.
Just to have I'm pretty sure you do too as well. I have a private print on demand, just a print on demand general top mastermind group, right? Have that down below. Put that down below in the description. And then Pixelpodstudio is just the interior service, right? So basically, you get 10 interiors a month. We're approached over 200 interiors already live on the back end. So you can actually, when you sign up, you can go download all 200 of those interiors if you like. But the thing is these are all researched, and they come with keywords and stuff like that, and then custom line drawings. But not only that, just from the future on out, here on out, there would be, everything else. All the next set of interiors are researched, and then they're all customizable. You can open them up in InDesign, PowerPoint, Affinity Publisher. I think it's Affinity Publisher, and then PowerPoint.
Cool.
Okay. Wow. So they're all open in those formats too, as well. So you can edit them, and they're very easy to edit in those, with those softwares and stuff like that. And then that custom line drawings, you can actually put them inside of the interior and do whatever the heck you like. Okay. These are templates for you to actually create something, that's awesome. And, leverage that to make money online. And then there's content back there too, as well, on how to get your first book published on Amazon. That is content right there that you can use for the rest of your life, because there might be a local business out there. You know what I mean? Local business out there that wants to publish their own book online. They don't know how to do it. You can go charge them a fee. Like, hey, charge you $300. I'll create a book for you, put it online, and then you just order it as you like, as you please.
Wow. Respect. That's cool. That's cool. Wow.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much about it. And then also too, I do have a Merch by Amazon course too that I have created about 2 months ago. Cool. That too as well.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Cool. We will put that in the description. Fine.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Let's just move on. And I would say goodbye and big thanks for all the information. And thank you that you were here, and wish you a good time and a good day.
Thank you, Daniel.
And bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.